I caught my husband and best friend together in my bed. She smirked and said, "Someone had to show him what a real woman is." I calmly picked up my phone and said, "Your husband will be interested in these pictures." Her face fell. Those words, that smug expression on her face, it was like a scene from a bad soap opera. But it was my life. My bedroom, my betrayal. The air was thick with the scent of her floral perfume, mingled with the musky sweat of their indiscretion, and the afternoon light filtering through the half-drawn blinds cast long shadows across the rumpled white sheets I'd washed just that morning. My heart hammered in my chest, a frantic drumbeat that made my ears ring, but my hands were steady as I raised my phone, the camera app opening with a soft click. Snap, snap, snap. The sound cut through the room like accusations, freezing them in place. Jenna's smirk vanished, replaced by a look of pure panic, her green eyes wide as she clutched the sheet to her chest. Alex scrambled off the bed, his face ashen, stammering incoherently. That moment wasn't just the end of my marriage or my friendship, it was the birth of a fire inside me. A burning need for justice that would consume everything in its path and leave me reborn from the ashes. My name is Sarah Mitchell, and at 38 years old, I was the epitome of the modern woman who had it all together, or at least, that's what the world saw. I live in the vibrant chaos of Chicago, in a stylish high-rise condo in the Loop, where the city skyline stretches out like an endless promise from our floor-to-ceiling windows. By profession, I'm a senior marketing executive at Apex Creative, a boutique agency that crafts digital campaigns for high-end brands. Think sleek ads for luxury watches and couture fashion lines. I've spent the last 15 years climbing the corporate ladder, balancing pitch meetings with parent-teacher conferences, all while maintaining a facade of effortless perfection. My days start at 5 a.m., with a run along the lakefront path, the wind off Lake Michigan whipping my ponytail and clearing my mind for the battles ahead. I'm the type who color codes her calendar, who remembers every birthday and anniversary, who prides herself on being the reliable one in every relationship. My husband, Alex Mitchell, is 40, a software engineer at Technova, a startup specializing in AI-driven apps. He's the charming, ambitious type, tall with dark hair that's starting to gray at the temples, a disarming smile that won me over in college, and a laugh that could fill a room. We met at a campus party during our junior year at the University of Illinois, where he was the guy coding apps in his dorm while I was interning at a local ad firm. Our courtship was whirlwind, late-night talks about dreams, road trips to the Wisconsin Dells, a proposal on Navy Pier under fireworks. We married at 23, young and full of optimism, and built a life together, first a tiny apartment in Wrigleyville, then the condo when the kids came. Emma, our 12-year-old, is a mini-me with my curly brown hair and a love for books. She devours fantasy novels and writes her own stories about dragons and heroines. Noah, 10, is Alex's spitting image, blue eyes, endless energy, and a soccer ball perpetually at his feet. He's the kid who scores the winning goal and then hugs the opponent. Family was everything to me. I thought it was to them, too. And then there's Jenna Lawson, my best friend since freshman year at U of I. Jenna, also 38, is an interior designer with her own firm, Lawson Interiors, where she transforms bland spaces into elegant sanctuaries for Chicago's elite. She's the glamorous counterpart to my practical self, blonde waves cascading down her back, always in heels and statement jewelry, with an infectious laugh that draws people in like moths to a flame. We bonded over shared dorm room drama, pulling all-nighters for exams, and vowing to conquer the world together. After college, she married Mike Lawson, 41, a sharp corporate lawyer at Harlan & Associates, the steady anchor to her whirlwind. Mike's the reliable type, broad-shouldered, with a kind face and a dry wit, always organizing group outings or fixing things around the house. They have no kids, opting instead for a life of travel and spontaneity, ski trips to Aspen, wine tours in Napa, galas for charity. Jenna was my confidant, the godmother to Emma and Noah, the one who'd drop everything for a girls' night. Or so I thought. Our families were intertwined. Double dates, holiday barbecues, even a joint vacation to Hawaii 3 years ago, where we all laughed until our sides hurt. But friendships, like marriages, can hide cracks under the surface. Looking back, the signs were there, subtle at first, like whispers in the wind. It started about 8 months ago. Alex began staying late at the office, his phone glued to his hand, texts chiming at odd hours. "Just a big project," he'd say, kissing my forehead absent-mindedly. Jenna, too, seemed distant, canceling our standing Thursday lunches with excuses about client meetings or last-minute redesigns. I'd notice her at our group dinners, her hand lingering a second too long on Alex's arm as she laughed at his jokes, her eyes flicking to him with a spark I dismissed as imagination. "You're paranoid," I'd tell myself in the mirror, brushing my teeth while he scrolled through his phone in bed. Our intimacy had cooled, blame it on kids, work, the grind of midlife, but I thought it was normal. We still had date nights and still said, "I love you" every morning. One evening, about 4 months before the discovery, we all met for dinner at a trendy Italian spot in the West Loop. Jenna was radiant in a red dress, Mike doting as always, refilling her wine. Alex and I sat across from them, Emma and Noah at home with a sitter. The conversation flowed, work stories, kids' antics, but I caught Jenna and Alex sharing glances, a private joke about a tech design collab they were working on. Mike laughed it off, but something twisted in my gut. Later, in the car, I asked Alex, "What's with you and Jenna lately?" He chuckled. "Jealous? It's just business, babe. Her firm needs app integration for client portals." I let it go, not wanting to be that wife. The tension built like a storm. 2 months ago, I found a receipt in Alex's jacket pocket for a hotel room downtown, the kind with champagne service. "Team building retreat?" he explained smoothly. Jenna started complimenting Alex more openly. "You look great. Have you been working out?" And he'd blush. I confronted her over coffee one day. "Is something going on with you and Alex?" She laughed, hugging me. "Oh, Sarah, you're imagining things. You're my best friend. I'd never." Her eyes, though, didn't meet mine. The day of reckoning was a Wednesday in late April, the city blooming with tulips along Michigan Avenue. I'd had a morning meeting canceled due to a client no-show, so I headed home early, thinking I'd surprise Alex with lunch from his favorite deli pastrami on rye, extra mustard. The condo was quiet as I entered, keys jingling softly. I set the bags on the marble kitchen counter, the smell of fresh bread filling the air. "Alex?" I called, kicking off my heels. No answer, but I heard murmurs from the bedroom, low voices, a giggle. My stomach dropped. Heart pounding, I padded down the hall, the carpet soft under my feet. The door cracked open, and I pushed it gently. There they were, Alex, naked from the waist up, his hands on Jenna's hips as she straddled him, her blouse unbuttoned, head tilted back in pleasure. The bed, our king-sized haven with the Egyptian cotton sheets I'd splurged on for our anniversary, was a tangle of limbs and discarded clothes. Time slowed. I saw every detail, the way Jenna's necklace, a gold locket Mike had given her for their 10th anniversary, swung between them, the half-empty wine glasses on the nightstand, the photo of our family on the dresser watching like a silent witness. Jenna noticed me first, her eyes locking on mine over Alex's shoulder. Instead of horror, she smirked, that infuriating, superior curl of her lips I'd seen when she won arguments or closed big deals. "Someone had to show him what a real woman is," she said, her voice husky, challenging, as if daring me to react. Alex turned, his face contorting in shock. "Sarah! Shit, wait, it's not what it looks like." It was exactly what it looked like. The betrayal hit like a tidal wave, drowning me in rage, hurt, disbelief. My best friend, my husband, in my home. But instead of exploding, A strange calm descended, born of years of holding it together for everyone else. I reached into my purse, pulled out my phone, and started snapping photos, close-ups of their faces, the bed, the evidence. The flash lit up the room like lightning. Jenna shoved Alex away, grabbing a pillow to cover herself. "Delete those! Sarah, please! Your husband will be interested in these pictures," I said, my voice cool as ice, though inside I was shattering. Mike, the man who'd confided in me about wanting kids while Jenna dragged her feet, the one who'd helped Alex with his resume when he switched jobs. Her face fell, the smirk gone, replaced by terror. Alex lunged for his pants, babbling apologies. I turned and walked out, grabbing the deli bags on my way. Why waste good food? And left the condo, the door slamming behind me like a period at the end of our story. In the elevator, the walls closing in, I finally broke. Tears streamed down my face as I hyperventilated, leaning against the mirror. How could they? How long? The ride down felt eternal, each floor a memory flashing. Our wedding day, Jenna as my maid of honor, toasting our future. The birth of Emma, Jenna holding my hand while Alex paced. Noah's first birthday, Jenna baking the cake, all tainted now. I drove to a nearby park, the one by the river where we'd had family picnics, and sat on a bench, the wind chilling my wet cheeks. The deli food sat uneaten beside me. My phone buzzed incessantly. "Alex, come back, let's talk." "Jenna, it was a mistake. Don't do anything rash." I silenced it, staring at the photos. Clear, damning. Mike deserved the truth, but not yet. I needed a plan. I called my sister Lisa, 35, a pediatric nurse in the suburbs with a no-nonsense attitude and a guest room always ready. "I need to crash at your place and pick up the kids from school." She sensed the urgency. "On my way." "What happened?" "Later," I said. At her house, a warm colonial with toys scattered in the yard from her own kids, I collapsed on the couch, the dam breaking. Lisa listened as I spilled everything, showing the photos. "Those assholes," she growled, hugging me tight. Her husband, Tom, a quiet mechanic, made dinner, comfort food, pasta, and garlic bread while I composed myself for the kids. Emma and Noah arrived confused. "Why are we at Aunt Lisa's?" Emma asked, her backpack slung over one shoulder. I sat them down in the living room, the TV muted on a cartoon. "Mom and Dad are having some grown-up problems. We're staying here for a bit." Noah's eyes welled up. "Is Dad mad at us?" "No, sweetie, it's between us adults." We cuddled, watching movies, their small bodies against mine, a lifeline. That night, as they slept in the guest room, I paced Lisa's kitchen, wine in hand. "What now?" Lisa asked. "Divorce Alex." "But Jenna, she needs to pay." We brainstormed. Sending the photos to Mike was step one, but anonymously to protect myself. I created a burner email on Lisa's laptop, truthseeker@gmail.com. Subject, important information about your wife. Body, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you need to see this. Attached, the photos, cropped to blur my bedroom but clear on faces. Send? My finger trembled, then clicked. Done. Alex called at midnight, voice slurred from drinking. "Sarah, Jenna said you have photos. Delete them. This could ruin everything." "It already has," I replied, hanging up. Jenna texted, "Please, Sarah, Mike will kill me. It was just fun. Alex said you were distant." Distant? Because I was working, raising kids, keeping our life afloat while he played? Rage fueled me. The next day, I took a personal day from work, citing a family emergency. My boss, Karen, a sharp 50-something, was understanding. "Take care of you," she said. I met with a divorce lawyer, Rebecca Stein, recommended by a colleague. Her office was sleek downtown with views of the river. Adultery isn't grounds for much in Illinois, but it strengthens your case for custody and alimony. She explained. Over coffee. Gather evidence, bank statements, texts. I nodded, steeling myself. Mike's reaction was explosive. By afternoon, he called me. How he got my number, I don't know. Sarah? It's Mike. I got some photos. Is this real? His voice cracked. I confessed everything, tears flowing. I'm so sorry, Mike. He was devastated. I thought we were happy. How could she? We talked for an hour, sharing pain. He filed for divorce that week, citing irreconcilable differences, but the photos sealed it in mediation. Jenna confronted me at work 2 days later, waiting in the lobby like a storm cloud. You bitch, she hissed as I entered. You sent those to Mike? Our marriage is over because of you. Security escorted her out, but not before she screamed, You'll regret this. I didn't. The office buzzed with gossip, but I held my head high. Alex moved to a hotel, begging for reconciliation. It was a fling, Sarah. I love you. I let him see the kids at neutral spots, parks, cafes. Emma was angry, Noah confused. Therapy started. Dr. Patel, a gentlewoman who helped them process. It's okay to feel mad, she told Emma, who drew pictures of broken hearts. As the divorce dragged on, I uncovered more. Alex's laptop, left in the condo, had emails, steamy messages, plans for after the wife finds out. Jenna had been pushing for it, calling me boring Sarah. I sent screenshots to Rebecca, who used them in court. The judge, a stern older man, awarded me the condo, primary custody, child support, and half his $401k. Alex's startup demoted him, word of the affair spread. Jenna's life crumbled. Clients fled. Her firm relied on reputation. Mike took the house, half the assets. She moved to a tiny studio in the suburbs, working freelance. She tried revenge, posting anonymous reviews calling me a homewrecker online. I traced them, sued for defamation. She settled out of court, paying damages. 6 months after my marriage ended in court, Jenna appeared at my door, soaked from Seattle's drizzle, her red hair limp, green eyes tired. Sarah, I need help, she said, voice shaky. I'm pregnant with Alex's baby. Shock hit me, reopening the wound of their affair. At 39, a single mom to Emma and Noah, I'd rebuilt my life in a Capitol Hill bungalow, freelancing as a copywriter. My auburn hair was in a messy bun, hazel eyes wary as I let her in. The living room glowed with fireplace warmth, Emma's paintings and Noah's trophies on the walls. Jenna sank onto the couch, repeating, It's Alex's. Her plea felt rehearsed. I poured chamomile tea, its scent calming the tension, but my mind raced. Was it true? I called Alex, 41, now in a sterile condo. I didn't know, he said, begging to be involved. His remorse sounded real, but I doubted. Jenna's lies during their affair made me skeptical. I demanded a DNA test. Waiting was torture, pacing as rain tapped the windows. The results came. Jenna had lied, spinning a web to manipulate Alex, perhaps hoping to rekindle their affair or secure his support. I confronted her at a neutral coffee shop, the air thick with espresso and the hum of morning commuters. It's Mike's, I said, sliding the results across the table. Her face crumpled, no tears this time, just defeat. I thought it could fix things, she mumbled, her hands shaking around her cup. Mike, a 38-year-old contractor with a kind heart but a short temper, took her back briefly for the child's sake, moving her into his modest Tacoma apartment. But their history, her infidelity, his mistrust, doomed it. Within months, they split again, the fights echoing through thin walls, leaving Jenna a single mom in a cramped studio, struggling to make ends meet as a part-time receptionist. At 40, I'm thriving. Remarried to David, 42, an architect I met at a work event. His warm laugh and kind eyes rebuilt my trust. We live in a craftsman home, perfect for Emma, 13, who published her first story, and Noah, Ken, an all-star soccer player. Alex visits weekends, remorseful. Jenna struggles alone. I pity her. Betrayal forged me stronger. Life's too short for fakes. I choose real.